I have a question for you. Are you guys still buying these? Are we still buying Louis Vuitton canvas pieces, the more entry level in the small leather good category or small canvas good category, the workhorses, the basic items, the entry level items? Are we still talking about these? Are we still interested in them? Are you buying them? Because I personally have not seen much in terms of social media content, whether on YouTube or any other platforms these days, where people are talking about these. And I wondered if it was because those who wanted them have already purchased them and now they're just sort of old news. They're being used and enjoyed and there's not much to talk about, not very sensational. Or is it that the Louis Vuitton price increases have turned so many people away that this is just not a consideration for most people anymore? As an example, this mini pochette here has now gone up to, what is it, over $700? Insanity. It's just a piece of coated canvas. It is essentially coated plastic. Now, I know that there are a lot of benefits to this type of material. Obviously, I've bought quite a few pieces here because I have become kind of a fan of canvas. They are really scratch resistant, water resistant, they're very durable, they're long lasting, and technically if you have one and you don't really damage it, it's very hard to damage, it should last you for a very, very long time, if not forever. I know that when it comes to workhorse pieces where you're going to use it practically every day, that these types of canvas items are very popular with many of us. But these days I feel like it's really quieted down. I know there was a whole quiet luxury movement and people were shying away from obvious brands like logos, logomania. But I also think that quiet luxury was like this very big trend. People who dressed quiet luxury have always dressed quiet luxury and will continue to, but there was this whole new group of people that was talking about quiet luxury for a while, and that too has sort of died down. And so the pendulum is constantly swinging, right, when it comes to fashion and style, and we have to just find what works for us. And even for us, our tastes will evolve over time. This little key pouch, for example, I think is, what is it, over $300 now? It's tiny. It's great. I've talked about this as one of my most used little pieces every single day. It holds my keys and my library card, so it comes with me everywhere. And it looks pretty much brand new, even though I've had it for a few years now. All of these, in fact, look pretty brand new, except for this cosmetic pouch. This is the PM size, only because whenever I touch my makeup and I touch the outside, it gets a little bit powdery, a little bit of residue, and then the inside, I have it empty for demonstrative purposes, but you see all that. I need to clean it, but that's from my eyebrow pencil cap opening and then smearing all over the place. So I do need to wipe that down. But other than that, these all look pretty new, regardless of how old they are. But the prices, this has gone up as well. They've all gone up, but this hasn't gone up as much as, for example, the mini pochette. So based on customers' sort of demand and popularity, LV has definitely taken advantage and hiked up the prices more on certain pieces. This is the Christmas animation from 2019. It's my only Christmas animation piece. It's the little coin pouch or coin purse. I use it for my earbuds. I'm old school. I like the ones with the wires. I can't be dealing with AirPods, but my whole family loves AirPods except me. But I use it for this. And this has special meaning because this is the Venice animation. And again, I said it was 2019. It was the same year I took my daughter to Italy, and we also spent some time in Venice. So that was our first mother-daughter trip when she was 9 years old. And so that kind of brings back memories. But I know people who collect like every Christmas animation piece, or at least one thing from every year's Christmas animation piece. So if you're a collector, that's a whole different story. For me, one is enough. So is that the thing? Do most of us feel like we have what we already wanted and now it's enough? And so we've reached that point and we're just enjoying what we have? Or is it that there are still many of us who want more of these pieces, but they're either hard to find or out of reach in terms of budget because, again, the price increases? Or is it the quality? Some people have mentioned, actually many of you have mentioned, and I have mentioned as well, the quality decline that's been noticed over the years. Now, this one here is a toiletry pouch 26 size, the original. They discontinued it, they messed around with it, they added chains and pockets, they hiked up the price, then they came out with pretty much the original version again, but now as a trio set. So I did go to the boutique to check it out because I was intrigued by the interior. The trio set now has 3 different pops of colors. And I thought that was fun, a nice little surprise on the inside. The classic one has the same beige wipeable interior as the cosmetic pouch I showed you, but the new ones have more bright pops of color. So I did go check it out. And unfortunately at the time, when I saw the set in the boutique, I was pretty disappointed by the quality of the canvas, the way it felt and the way it looked. It looked quite dull. It looked, I don't know, it's canvas, so it's hard to describe. I know it's just a piece of coated canvas, but it looked kind of dead. Like it was so dull. It didn't feel vibrant, and the way it felt also. And then when I put up the toiletry pouches on the counter, they all flopped over. They were very flimsy feeling and thin. So I know that in the past, many of you have mentioned that, vintage pieces, like if you have an older Speedy, you've noticed that the canvas is thicker, it's more high quality, it's more shiny even, and then the newer ones not so much. I have pieces that are kind of from all different years, but they're all pretty new. Like none of them are more than 10 years old, so I can't really speak to vintage. Actually, yes, I can. Let me grab a vintage piece in a minute. But this right here is my pochette accessoire. And some of you have said that this looks so nice on camera. Like it's just so glossy and shiny and it looks really thick. And yeah, I guess it is. I hadn't noticed until I saw those comments. And some of you asked me what I did, like did I wipe it down with something? Did I put any kind of like conditioner? And I have not put anything on any of my canvas pieces. And so I don't know if this is just from the oils from my hands or my hand lotion. That could be it, but then again, I touch everything else, and this is basically the glossiest piece I have. It's also one of my oldest. So there are going to be variations, and maybe because of the quality issues and the lack of trust there, some of you are holding yourselves back from buying these new pieces. Maybe you're going pre-loved. But even on the pre-loved market, I noticed that like the mini pochette is going for pretty much retail price, or maybe even above retail price, which is crazy because I know that in the past, a lot of these popular pieces were very hard to find. You would have to be quite patient, stop by the boutique, ask multiple times. Oftentimes they would be out of stock. And then online on the website, they were often not in stock as well. And so whenever they were in stock, I would notify you guys. I would post it quickly on my Instagram or on my community page here on YouTube, and you guys might snatch it up. But nowadays, when I check everything, like every piece that I look up is available to place in cart. So I do wonder if LV has just produced excess inventory that they're not able to move. B, they have outpriced themselves in certain categories like this, and customers are just not having it. Like they don't want to pay over $700 for a tiny little pouch, right? Let me show you. This is my Speedy B25, and then I'll pull out the vintage Speedy just to show you the difference, if you can see the difference. But I've been using this bag the last 2 days because it has been rainy over here, and this is my rainy day bag. Very, very, very easy for those bad weather days. This is a pouch that I use. I picked this up in Tokyo when we were in Japan. And it's just this like little mesh pouch that I use pretty much every day for a bunch of little knickknacks compared to what you're going to pay for something like this, right? So I think those of us who are still buying these, it's because we want specifically LV canvas with a certain print. Maybe we really love the simplicity of the Dami Ibin print. I quite like this print. I've come to really like it. Or some of us really love the monogram print, and it's a neutral tone, right? It goes with pretty much anything, but it adds a little pop. So you can wear a very simple outfit and then add some monogram, and it adds a little bit of accentuation. Maybe that's what it is. Because you can get a pouch like this for maybe even $10, $5, like a clear vinyl pouch or a nylon pouch from Amazon. I think they sell sets of them. Not this specifically, since this is branded with the Sanrio. So obviously this is going to be a little bit different. But if you just wanted a plain one just to catch all your little bits and bobs, you can spend a couple of dollars and that would do the trick. So I think those of us who are still buying these or have these, it's because we want these specifically. I actually sold a bunch of stuff because I felt like it was too much. When I got this, I also got the medium toiletry pouch 19 size, which is the in-between size, not the smallest. And I just couldn't find use for it. A lot of you said that that was the best size. It was like the perfect Goldilocks size. And for me, that was not the case. I prefer this larger one for travel. I put all my toiletries, and then when I go to the beach or the pool, I put all my sunblock, sunglasses, hotel key card, and this is really great because I don't have to worry about it getting wet and splashed on. So this has been good for me, but the 19 size I let go. And then I also tried the GM larger size of this, but I didn't love that it was quite large, but it didn't fit as much because of the tapering. So that too I didn't keep. Oh, and then this, the kirigami, I purchased the set, but I let go of the larger one and the medium sized one and just kept this mini for my wallet, which I use all the time. I did also buy this in a monogram print, if you guys remember a few years ago, because the prices were skyrocketing. I think at the time it was like $350 or maybe $375. So I snatched one in monogram saying that my daughter might want one when she's a little bit older. And if she does, I don't want to spend $1,000 for it. So I bought one just to save it for her. It's in the back of my closet all wrapped up. And I'm glad I did because, you know, it's cute. It's not necessary. Like I said, you can get another pouch from Amazon for like $5. But if you want this canvas LV with the print and all of that, I'd rather buy it in advance and hold it for her versus spending like double or triple down the line. But yeah, let me grab the vintage Speedy. All right, so this is a vintage, true vintage, pre-loved Speedy 30 size classic without the bandolier, and it is over 20 years old. I think it's over 25 years old. So this is true vintage. And again, you can see here, first of all, it's thick. It feels quite thick. It's held up really nicely, and you can see that it is glossy, right? I'm not using any special lighting. I never do. I'm just using natural light by my window, and it has that gloss, whereas I guess some of the canvas pieces don't. You also see a different shade of, like, this is a little lighter, a little duller. Here's my newer Speedy, different print obviously, but so there are slight changes, slight variations, even in the hardware and, you know, the leather. Now they make these pieces here puffy. Don't know if you can see that. The older ones are flat. But this was actually gifted to me by a pre-loved consignment brand called the Luxury Outlet in New Jersey. And I was so appreciative of them reaching out to send this to me. So I definitely need to do a spa treatment on this, clean up the vachetta leather here, but otherwise the canvas is looking really amazing, I will say. I don't know if the newer canvas would hold up as well, but I do think in general, coated canvas is meant to last a really long time. But again, like I said, the whole point of this video, I don't see a lot of people talking about these. Maybe they're just old news, or maybe those of us in this luxury community have already, quote unquote, collected the pieces that we want, and now we're done. Although I will say, just like 2 or 3 years ago, I had so many people saying that they were trying to collect like the trifecta. They would want the damier bin, the damier azur, and the monogram. They had to have all three, and they had to have all three sizes of the toiletry. And they, you know, like there was this addictive sort of quality, and these are a bit addictive, I will admit. Same thing with the key pouches. I need every single print. I need every single Christmas animation. I need every single like special edition. And I don't hear any of that anymore. So there's definitely been a shift. And I think there are a variety of different reasons. Like I said, quality, price, some of the choices that LV has made that may have turned many of us off. Contentment with what we have, which is a nice thing, but also a shift to other brands, lesser known brands, more value for your buck. Maybe shying away from just canvas in general and sticking to either leather or different types of materials, right? There's just so many more options now, and we're much more educated as customers, I think, generally. So we have the sort of power to make more informed decisions, which is a great thing. But I really wanted to make this video and start this dialogue because it's just a question that has been swimming around in my head the last few days. And I thought, why not pose it here on my channel and see what you guys think? So do let me know what's happening in your world. If you like any of this stuff, do you own it? Are you done? Are you just starting and you still are very much interested? Do you feel like they're priced out of your budget because of the aggressive price increases over the years? Are you going pre-loved? Are you not interested at all? Like, I would just love, I think it's going to be an interesting mix. And I haven't done a video like this in a while where it's just me chatty, kind of rambly, but dumping my thoughts out here. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and I will see you all next time. Be sure to leave me a comment, okay? See ya. Bye.